Hello everybody and good morning. At least it's morning for me, very early. If you're stocking your flour, hopefully wheat shortages will not be a serious problem for you. But today I'm going to show you how to make donuts, cake donuts, okay? These are absolutely wonderful. Dunkin' Donuts sells a cake donut like this. And I love the things. But I can't afford it. So what do? I make my own. Now I'm going to start by simply giving you the recipe to start with. And that's, you need 1 cup of sugar, a half a stick of butter. Now you don't melt the butter, but you do want it at room temperature. 2 eggs, 4 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, teaspoon of salt, and 3/4 cup of milk. Now, you want to put your sugar, your butter, and your 2 eggs in a bowl, and you want to mix that first together really well. And then after that, you slowly add the flour and the milk. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do this, but I'm going to do it off camera because I work by myself and my camera shakes too much. But I have, as you can see, my sugar and my butter is in this bowl. And I've already added my baking powder to that. And I have my 3/4 cup of milk. I just need to get my 2 eggs. And we'll come back after I have it all mixed together. As you can see here, I've got the eggs, the butter, and the sugar mixed together. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to start putting a little bit of my milk at a time. I mean, not milk, flour at a time. And I'm going to mix it, okay? Just a little time, and alternately I will mix in some of the milk. Okay, here it is. I have it all mixed together. Now, you have to put this in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours so it can chill and get nice and cold. And one other thing, you're going to have to eventually use your hands to mix in this dough. You can start off with a spoon, mixing a little, but to get all the flour incorporated, you are going to have to use your hands in the end. And I did everything I could not to use my hands, but you have to. And it also says that in the directions, but I was hoping I can get around that. I'm always hoping to get around that kind of thing. But if you wait and do it towards the end, your hands won't get as gooey, you know. So we're going to put this in the refrigerator for a couple of hours. That's why I'm doing it so early in the morning, so that I can have them donuts, 8, 9 o'clock as a dessert or something, or midday. So we're going to put this in the oven, the refrigerator, and come back in a couple hours, and we're going to make these donuts. Okay, the recipe says to heat up oil in a pan till it's 370. So I'm working on that right now. It also says to work on your dough about 1/3 at a time. When I put this in the refrigerator, I put a plate over the top of it. So right now, I'm going to take a section of this dough out of this bowl because I'm going to roll it out. And then I'm going to put this, I'm kind of making it a little bit round here. I'm going to put this right back in the refrigerator again. Okay? Because supposedly, that's what you're supposed to do. Supposedly you're supposed to work on this a little at a time. Now I've done this before, and it's not super difficult. Let me put that back in my refrigerator. All good things take a little bit of work, okay? Now, I'm going to kind of flip this over so I'll have a little bit of flour on the top, and then I'm going to start rolling this out. I may not have taken enough out, really. I might not have. But you're only supposed to do a little at a time. Just a few donuts, so to speak, at a time. Because you don't want this to supposedly heat up too much. Okay? And so this is all I'm going to do to this. And now I'm going to use this is a can, from one of my vegetables, sweet peas, something. Okay. And the little piece that's left over here, I'm going to add it back to some of the other donut mixture. Now, I have a top here that I'm going to use for my center. This is just a, you see? And then I'll pull this out of here with my fingernail, you see? And I'm going to do this again, just like so. Now, I don't know if I have this thick enough. I may not, but that's okay. Always eat your mistakes, even if it is. They still taste good. And I may need to roll it out thicker, but I won't know yet until I actually get to the frying part of this. And that's where we're going to find out. Okay? Now I'm going to roll out some more here, but this batch, I'm going to roll out a little bit thicker. I kind of think this is too thin. That's just my unprofessional opinion. So, I'm going to roll out them, but a little bit thicker. Then we'll fry them up and see. Hopefully this comes out just a little bit thicker. Okay, I have all of these, rolled out with circles in them. Now, you don't have to do all this dough in one day. The best donuts are the hot, fresh ones. And so you can leave this dough in the refrigerator covered and do more the next day. You don't have to do them all at once. Just depends on how many you want at one time. Now we're going to take these over here and we're going to start frying them. Now you can't really see much here because I dunked them down in here. And we just kind of want to get an idea what they look like. Let me move this slightly so you can see. Let me get my, oops, don't mean to jar you here. See that? They crack and will split a little bit because that's the dough rising in the center as it's cooking, which makes them taste really, really good. Now you can frost these any way you want. My Nutter Butter likes his with powdered sugar. You can put sugar and cinnamon in a bowl and dip them in sugar. You can frost them with chocolate. But my favorite way is just eating them plain. Plain and simple. Makes them delicious. Now, you want to be careful. You don't want them to burn too much. You don't want them to burn. But you also want to make sure they're nice and cooked in the center. Doesn't that look delicious? Well, we're going to keep doing this until we get all of them done. Okay, I wanted to show you that I had some of the dough left, so this is what I'm doing. I'm putting it in a freezer bag, and I'm just going to put it in the refrigerator for another day. Right now, I'm working on the little holes in the donuts, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to make these donuts a little more extra special. Now, those are my little donut holes. And over here, I have my donuts off to the side. I had to do like 2 layers because you want some of the oil to absorb into paper towels or napkins, something. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Now, I wanted to cool some of these off first because if they're too hot, the powder will become very wet. But that's what I do. This is the way my Nutter Butter likes to eat these donuts. So I've got a plate over here to one side because I will do him several. And I'm doing him some that are already cooled off. And these little button ones, I will do the same. The little donut holes, I'm going to dip into this. Now you can dip this also into sugar and cinnamon, pure sugar, Or you could even frost them with chocolate. But once again, like I said, I like them plain. You could also put icing on them. And by icing, I mean you can mix this powdered sugar with a little bit of butter or milk, just a small amount, and then roll your donuts around in there. And I will iterate, please, always wash your hands, especially with what's going on now. I probably washed my hands 5 or 6 times during the whole process of what I'm doing here. And I'm getting ready to wash them again. Please, wash your hands. We're living in dangerous times nowadays. But today's not about that. Today's about enjoying a nice cup of coffee with a real homemade donut. And I hope you enjoy this recipe, and I hope you try it because it is not that difficult. And I'm also going to give you breads. Back many, many, many years ago, bread was not made with yeast. And I'm going to give you some recipes on how to make bread without yeast. So, God bless you, and may you have a very blessed day.